let's listen into the next voicemail here.
Hi, Goblin.
Hey.
Have you ever thrown up in a Dairy Queen parking lot or drive-through before? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, I've never thrown up in a Dairy Queen specific parking lot or drive-through. However, most recently, I puked in a parking lot at a Burger King. I was very nauseous. This was actually when I went out to see Jacob Jones. I flew out, and we had to pick up a rental car. I was not driving, obviously. And I drank a lot of vodka crayons before I boarded that flight. And I don't remember much of the flight outside of the like keeled over, nearly upright fetal position I was in, trying to keep myself from throwing up on this plane. Because I knew that once the floodgates opened on this flight, it was going to be really bad. I legit almost puked on myself on this flight. I was a really bad passenger. I just got really hammered. I honestly lost count of the vodka crayons. I'm sitting on this plane. I've got the window seat. And the middle's open, and there's this old lady, very nice old lady to the right of me. She was all friendly, smiling, very nice lady. I even remember, actually, when the flight attendant was handing out, like, the little bag of pretzels to everybody, handed the bag to her first, and she, like, put it on my thing. Like, she just forced it upon me first. Like, very nice old lady. So I would have felt so bad puking all over her nice white sweater. And I'm leaning over in the seat. I remember I had my hand on the seat in front of me, and I'm like, doing breathing techniques. I'm like, and she, at one point, she was like, "Are you okay, honey?" And I'm like, I don't like flying. I was just like, fuck. Like, I didn't want to tell her, like, ma'am, I'm 15 crayons deep, and it's about to look like you're bleeding out if I turn towards you and yak. Like, please get the fuck away from me. I couldn't say that to Meemaw, nice old Meemaw. So I thugged it out for the flight, landed, went and picked up my rental car. I'm riding shotgun. I'm like, yo, pull into that BK parking lot. I can't hold it any longer. I was seconds away from just popping the door open and just throwing up out the side, but I figured that wouldn't be good. So we pull up in the BK parking lot. I jump out, literally just yak on the floor, immediately get back in and make it to the Airbnb, So that's my closest thing to throwing up in a DQ parking lot. But I don't go to Dairy Queen is the thing. Like, that's just not really my place, dude. You can do better ice cream than Dairy Queen. You can do better food than Dairy Queen. They're just kind of a middle of the road option, in my opinion.
My opinion.
I don't get Dairy Queen slander. Call it what you want. I don't care.
Would probably be that if you only smoke carts, you should probably quit while you're ahead. Because the only reason that people usually smoke carts is that they need to conceal it. But
okay,
if you're not just being a man and smoking outside, then it's probably not for you.
No, that's kind of a real opinion, dude. I mean, also, listen, at the end of the day, I don't like to judge anyone on how they smoke, but also if you only smoke carts, I do judge you. You're kind of fucking stupid, No, you're not stupid. I'm sure that was me being harsh. No, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not. I wouldn't judge you guys like that. But you shouldn't ever only smoke carts. You should smoke everything. You should. I just think carts are an objective, value, poor value proposition most of the time. It's good as like a supplement, like a crutch. I mean, I have a cart on the table right now with me, but people who only smoke carts, it's like, dude, you're really missing out. Like, you're really tripping. This should not be your primary method of getting. This should be like your crutch to get through a work day or a road trip or something like that, where like you don't want to smoke a get pulled over, you just want a quick rip, or you're at work and maybe you're in the bathroom, take a quick pen rip, get back to it, That's the scenario where a cart's like, nice. But sitting at home all day and you can easily pack a take a do whatever, get that real bang for your buck. No. Because it's not even like, I don't say these things out of personal preference. I don't say these things to be like, oh yeah, it's just because I prefer it. I say these things because, like, objectively, this is a not as good of a value proposition as just buying a puck of it off a banger out of your puffka or whatever you choose to do with it. Like, this is not the dollar to high ratio here is lower than the other options. It's not too low to buy it, obviously, but it's lower than the other options for sure. So cart smokers, I mean, hey, lock the fuck in. Another voicemail that I've pulled for us to listen to today is someone who's just looking for some advice. Like I mentioned earlier, our topic's anything today, and we've gotten anything. But here we have someone who needs some advice because they don't know whether they want to pursue a career in singing or do a 9 to 5, and they're asking me for input. And I'm probably not a very qualified person to ask for input on real deal life scenarios, but if you want my unqualified advice, I'm happy to give it.
Hey,
Let's listen in.
you said to talk about anything today, so I'm calling you. Basically saying, you think I should pursue a career in singing, or you think I should just kind of join the grind and get a 9 to 5? I know I've had kind of success with both, but yeah, if you're interested in that topic, give me a call back. The first tour ended up being a culmination of a lot of and ended up dealing with some cults and stuff. So super cool. But if you want to hear me a call, bye.
Listen, I'll say right now, as someone who I've gotten the opportunity to meet a lot of musical artists, a lot of rappers and different people like that. One thing that I have learned about the music industry is nobody makes any money unless they're in the top 1%, or you own all your own shit. And even then, you still have to be in the top 1% to make money. The music industry is very, very brutal. I mean, at the middle and lower levels, when you get a deal, generally you're just kind of in debt. You get an advance and you're just in debt to your label. It's almost like taking out a fat loan and living off it, except instead of paying the loan back, they're like, all right, get to work, go wash dishes, except you're just beating on some drums or some shit. I don't know. Kind of a tough question to answer for this guy. I mean, I feel like just do a little bit of both, bro. Sing on the weekends or something, bro. I don't know. Let's call this guy up. He's trying to figure out whether he should get a 9 to 5 or just sing for a living. I mean, listen, if this guy doesn't pick up, I'll still answer it. I don't really care. Doesn't matter. We luckily got the gist because that was a good, thorough voicemail.
Your call has been...
Okay, we're not going to leak his number. We'll stop it there. But, to answer that question, I generally say, I get this comment all the time, just in different formats. People who want to be all sorts of things, usually people who want to do what I do, they want to make YouTube videos, they'll comment and be like, dude, should I pursue this? What I'll say is, I'm a dumbass, and when I was younger, I dropped out of high school and just full sent this YouTube thing, not because I really ever genuinely believed it was gonna work, but more so because I didn't feel like doing anything. And I kind of just stumbled into this in the beginning. Now it's a little different. It's, I'm very serious about it. I take it seriously. I work hard towards it. But when I was younger, I just completely fell into this shit. And, a lot of the time, you need to find a good balance. One of the things that fucked me when I was younger is I did not have a good balance. I didn't have any cushion, okay, well, here's my day job and I can pursue my hustle on the side. I was all in on this. So those months where it didn't work and those months where it was really bad were really, really fucking rough because I had no cushion. I had no backup. And generally, if you're able to have your day job and pursue, whatever your passion is, whether it's making music or doing what I do, making YouTube videos, or I don't know, dude, making beats, something like that, whatever it is, having a cushion is very invaluable. Having to pay for stuff through self-employment is a pain in the fucking ass, because when you have your job, for example, a 9 to 5, yeah, it sucks. 9 to 5 is blow. But one of the key advantages when you're just getting started in a hustle, whatever you're trying to do, is that 9 to 5 job. If you call off for a day, you're still getting paid. You have a guaranteed paycheck coming. You can show up for work and it's like, hey, if you come in, work for this much time, you know exactly how much money they're going to give you for that. Early on in my YouTube time, for example, there was no guarantee month by month how much ad revenue, how many views a video was going to get, which in turn would turn into ad revenue for me, whether or not a sponsor was going to email me and offer me a few $100 to shout them out. There was never a guarantee, anything. So I couldn't afford to fuck up. And if I fucked up, I had to cross my fingers I was going to get lucky that someone was going to throw me a bone. Having that 9 to 5 solves that problem. And honestly, if I didn't completely fuck up my record when I was younger, I probably would have gotten a day job while still doing this YouTube stuff. The last day job I ever had was working at the car dealership. That was my final job. I worked at a Lexus dealership. I was a clerk, so I didn't sell cars, but I did originally I was a receptionist, and then I did cashier, and I kind of flip-flop depending on where they needed me that day. I was just, a guy who was supposed to smile at people and take their money, basically, which is just everyone at a car dealership. But that was my last day job. And as soon as I quit that, I got exponentially poorer and life got exponentially harder, dude. It was not easy. So yeah, I would say to you, dude, I mean, listen, if you really want to do music stuff, pursue it, but like, don't quit your day job for it unless you're like really ready to do that. Like, over prepared to do that. I quit my job way too early to do this shit. And I just stumbled into a lot of scenarios that saved my ass. Like when I first got my DUI and got kicked out of my mom's house, didn't have a day job. This was it. I was making maybe $1,000 a month off YouTube, which is cool when you're living in your mom's house and the only thing that $1,000 go to is your cell bill and cocaine and like gas for your car. But when you get thrown out and now you have to pay rent and you have to pay your power bill and your internet and your cell phone bill and you have to insure your car, like everything hits you immediately. Suddenly that $1,000 ain't cutting it anymore. It's a little rough. So yeah, just make sure you got a cushion, dude. That's my most important piece of advice, I would say. But